We're here at a motorway service station in mainland Europe, where we stayed for the night. Did we get gas? Were we robbed? Keep watching to find out.
Don't forget to check out our other videos on everything campervan and motorhome related, from solar to water, heating to gadgets, tyres to trips. If you like this video, please do hit the thumbs up, it really does help me to know what you like, and you can ask any questions or give feedback in the comments. If you want to make sure you don't miss any of our future videos, please hit the subscribe button, and clicking the bell will give you a notification when a new video goes live. Finally, if you do decide to hit the thumbs down, it would be great if you could also leave a comment so I know what you didn't like.
Okay, here's a spoiler alert. We stayed here last night and we weren't gassed and we weren't robbed. We know that both are a topic that come up pretty much every year, so in this video we'll do some digging into the evidence surrounding being gassed and share our top tips for staying safe if you do decide to use a motorway services to stop over. So let's get on with it.
We've trawled through UK and European reports of gassing and found some interesting points that steer our opinion of them. Many reports mention that the gas was introduced through the fridge or heater vents. Those of you that have installed these will know that if that was the case and the fridge or heater installed correctly, none of the gas would actually go into the cabin, as the external vents on both have to be airtight from the living compartment for them to work correctly and safely. We've seen quite a few recent reports and social media posts citing gas canisters found in car parks as evidence of gassing. Well, for those of you that don't know, nitrous oxide or NOx is a popular recreational drug when inhaled from a balloon, giving a feeling of euphoria. Car parks are a popular place to do this, and not surprisingly, those using it aren't that considerate to take that rubbish away with them, so often leave their empty canisters in the car park. This has nothing to do with gassing people in order to steal. All the reports we have seen from the media quote the people that think they have been gassed. We've not seen any direct quotes from the police or medical staff confirming either use of the gas or even the suspicion, just the quoting of the person involved, who, let's face it, isn't an expert, and we'll talk later about why they may say or think they have been gassed. In fact, despite the headlines, some have in the small print of the article that the police don't agree that any gas was involved. We've not been able to find any reports of CCTV getting pictures of any gassing gangs, and given what they would need to do it, even hypothetically, and we'll talk more about that later, this seems really strange. Unlike many gangs that have been caught going equipped to steal, we found no reports of any that have included any equipment for gassing. Before we look at the science behind the subject, this video is brought to you thanks to our friends at Stealth Outdoor. If you're looking for an affordable yet comfortable, practical, fully equipped and very cool looking camping solution, check out their range of lightweight adventure caravans, off-road trailer tents, roof tents and camper units. We feel these bring the desirability of a campervan with the practicality of a caravan. So discover your freedom to explore by visiting stealthoutdoor.co.uk. To administer general anaesthetics takes years of training and qualifications to be able to do it safely and effectively. It's actually quite rare to use gas, with intravenous injected anaesthesia being much more widely used. Where gas is used, it's delivered direct to the mouth and nose in exactly the right concentration, which is monitored by the anaesthetist via a machine which monitors the concentration and adjusts it as required to maintain the fine balance between a conscious patient, an unconscious patient and a dead patient. Being able to do that without training, without direct dosing to the patient, and without the machine or monitoring equipment on the patient, so that the right quantity of gas is used to maintain the concentration of the mixture in a space the size of a van, not knowing how many people are inside, where they are, and how much ventilation there is, seems highly unlikely. As well as giving anaesthetic, anaesthetists are responsible for your well-being during its effect. This includes ensuring your lungs continue to receive oxygen while you're anaesthetised. During deep sedation or general anaesthetic, this is particularly important as the muscles relaxing around the tongue and throat can block the airway. Hence, the anaesthetists manage the airway continuously whilst you're unconscious, often using a tube to keep your airway open. Obviously, a thief wouldn't do this, yet there are no reports of any deaths. The evidence here is so strong that the Royal College of Anaesthetists even issued a press release to express their opinion that the gassing of people in motor vehicles, including motorhomes, remains a myth. The use of a so-called sleeping gas by the Russian military in the hostage situation in a Moscow theatre is often cited as a proof point, even though it's confirmed that 30 hostages died from the effects of the gas, and that the gas used was not a sleeping gas but a poison that would not be available to the general public. This brings us on to the small number of reports that cite carbon monoxide from a vehicle exhaust as the source of the gas. Again, due to this being a poison and no reports of any deaths, the fact that the vast majority of campervans and motorhomes have a carbon monoxide alarm that would detect the attempt and wake the occupants long before the levels got to a point of making them unconscious, and the fact that even if it had been attempted, this would be detected after the event from the smell of exhaust fumes in the van and blood tests on the occupants. So for us, this is very questionable. So what could be the cause of these rumours? Well, the origin could be from rumours of gassing which started with lorry drivers well back in the past, and a common theory is that the excuse of being gassed was often a cover-up, as some drivers may have been incapacitated during a theft, but not from gas, but by having one too many beers, vodkas or whiskies before turning in for the night. Why would they not want to admit this? Well, given the police would more than likely have to be called if their load had been tampered with, admitting to having a skinful the night before might not be wise, and also not something your employer would approve of. So being gassed could be a great excuse. The kind of thieves that do break into vehicles at a high-risk location like a motorway services are very good at it. They practiced, quiet and quick. With the outside noise of passing traffic, lorry cooling units and running engines, it's not surprising people make sleep through someone breaking in. When it comes to motorhomers and campervanners, it's often the case that when you pull into a services to sleep, you're already pretty tired. You're unlikely to stop off for the views, let's face it. So given you're already tired, it's possible you'll sleep quite heavily when you do get to sleep. When someone finds they've been broken into at a motorway services, they could easily jump to the huge conclusion they have been gassed. Even out of embarrassment, some may conclude that they must have been gassed because they would never have slept through it. Finally, what we suspect has happened in some cases is people pull into the parking area, jump into the back and fall asleep, forgetting to lock the driver's or passenger doors, making it super easy and quiet for the thieves. So to potentially cover up their negligence, claiming to have been gassed may seem like a good idea at the time. We also see a surprising amount of reports that involve large amounts of cash and very expensive items, which, let's be honest, most actually wouldn't have in their campervan or motorhome. You can read into that what you like. So overall, our opinion is that the risk of being gassed in your van when parked up at a motorway services or anywhere else is very low, if not non-existent. Now, it doesn't mean that parking up in locations like this is safe. There are opportunist thieves everywhere, and a motorway services is a target-rich environment. Thieves have got loads of vehicles to pick from and an easy escape route. So what do you need to think about if you're thinking of staying over at one of these? And this applies to the UK just as much as anywhere else. Firstly, we would suggest avoiding them if possible. There are lots of resources for finding better suited places to stay, like Park for the Night, Search for Sites, and our favourite camping car parks, which can be accessed 24 hours a day. You can see our review of this linked here or in the video description. If you do choose to use them, we recommend using the manned service areas with 24-hour facilities. There are many motorway rest stops in Europe that are simply park-up areas with an unmanned toilet. For us, these are a higher risk than a busy 24-hour service area. Though it's tempting to find a nice quiet spot away from other people, we feel this increases your risk, giving thieves an easy life to hide their activities from others, so we make sure to park in a well-lit, easily seen area with lots of activity. If we are staying at a rest stop, once we've parked up, there are some measures we take, some of which are: we'll always get out and check the feeling of a location. Is it busy? Are there people around? Does it feel dodgy? If it does, it's not for us. We may add magnetic motion activated lighting to the outside of the van. Not only do we 100% make sure all doors are locked, we use straps to secure them from the inside so that even if the lock is forced, they can't be opened from the outside. We have CCTV on our van which we can view from inside and records any activity. The cameras are overt, so could be a deterrent in themselves, and we can set motion detection to alert us inside if anyone moves near the van. Or alternatively, you could use the radar warning device we shared in this video positioned outside your van to detect any motion and warn you. Taking suitable precautions should be the norm wherever you park, to give you the reassurance and enable a good and safe night's sleep. Thanks for watching our video, and as always, if you have any questions or feedback, please pop them in the comments below. If you find the video useful, please like, share and consider subscribing.